It's the
Take it
sports
away
show.
from him. Under 4 left.
Got
The
me
barn
in
is
my
alive again.
hormones. All gas, no brakes, score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get port closed. I've been in my head, but it's not about a T3. I like to learn, but there's nothing you can teach me. We all got opinions. You about to hit a meet.
Doing good, buddy. I'm doing good. Why? Because it is a special edition of the Sports Show.
Sports Show.
That's right. Sports Show YYC on Instagram and Twitter. We got the Facebook page. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see what our ugly mugs look like and watch the clips that way. And, of course, here, CJSW, CJSW.com, 90.9 FM, arguably the greatest radio station in the world.
Yes.
At least that's how I see it. Pleasure to be on, privileged to be here. Mitch, how you doing, man?
I'm good, buddy. Busy, running around. You know how it is, but excited.
You had a tough week. It was a go-go week.
It was a go-go week, but I like to, as you know, I like being busy. Almost to the point, a small little mistake here, but we're fixing it by just giving you straight Dimitri. Straight Dimitri on the video this week. So if you're like, wait a minute, I can hear somebody else.
As it should be.
It's the other guy.
Yeah, Mitch has the face for the radio. I have the face for the video.
That's right.
That's how it goes.
That's how we do it.
Last week,
yeah,
we do another show, and on the CJSW, we do the Hellenic Melodies, the Greek show. And we had, it's sports related because we had a gentleman by the name of Forti, young up and coming Greek in our community.
Yes.
Just a superstar in life. So he comes and he gets these sweaters.
Right.
And he comes and gives us swag 'cause he's got his own brand. The kid does everything,
You're
really.
looking at it right now.
And you're looking at it right now. And I'm like, this is a good sweater, but you got upset. I didn't realize.
It's not that I got upset. It's Forti brought a little sweat. He brought a shirt and a sweater. Right? He didn't need to do any of it, but he did it anyways because he's a gentleman. That's what he is.
He's a gentleman.
And right away, my counterpart, the guy that I've been doing the podcast for 4 years, the guy that I would actually go to war with, should anything ever come, right away, Mitch, the sweater's mine. The sweater's mine. But I knew, and I'll be honest with you, Roster, if you know Dimitri and you know I knew this was going to happen.
Oh,
it was just fine. However,
come
the
on.
best part was the after. About an hour later, he's like, you didn't want the sweater, did you? Well, you know what? Let's say I did or I didn't. The point is, it's too late now.
First of all, this is an amazing rouge.
Right.
Okay.
It's a nice rouge.
It's a nice rouge.
Yeah.
But look, the reality is you know that I brokered it. Ross, this is what he's not telling you. I brokered
You
the
brokered
guest.
the deal. I agree.
That means I get dibs. I looked at the sweater. Look,
it was how
many...
you did.
You know
That's
what?
it.
Is there any good way to do it? But I was thinking about it after. You know what happened?
What?
It's like me and you when we're 18 years old and we go to the bar.
Right.
And we see a pretty lady.
Right.
And then, I'm called dibs guy.
You're dibs guy.
I just called dibs guy. And then after, like a week later, I'm like, you didn't want to ask her out on a date, did you? Oh, no, of course not.
No, why would I do that?
And for the record, I never did that back then. So this is I booked my flight on the wing side.
All
okay,
right, fair enough.
Okay,
fair enough. You say your side of the story. No one's here to collaborate and/or fight on you. Real quick, speaking of sweaters, let's talk about something that you need to stay warm.
Right.
And it just finished. It's the Olympics. So the Olympics out in Beijing just ended, and complete disaster. In my humble opinion, I didn't even turn it on. Some people will say, and we talked a little bit about it on the last podcast, that, well, without the NHL guys there, I wasn't interested or whatever the say. It's kind of true. Now I'm kind of really thinking about it. I had no inkling to turn it to CBC or to any of the sport networks to watch any of the, I'm sorry, Olympics, not very good. However, let's give some respect to Team Canada. Team Canada ended up getting 26 medals in total, 4 gold, 8 silver, 14 bronze, 11th place. Who came number 1? The little country of Norway. This country's always been in the fold, but they finally said, hey, we're going to come through. And it's Norway that came in with 37 medals, but 16 gold. That's what they really measure it on.
Right.
Germans came in at number 2 with 12 gold, and the host Chinese country came in at 9. But the biggest winner, Dimitri, of the Olympics, it was Finland.
Really?
Not the country, but this gentleman named Remy Lindholm. Why? This gentleman on the very last day said, hey, I know these Olympics aren't going well. I'm going to take it to the next level. What event is he in? He's in cross country skiing.
Ruthless event. You have to
event.
battle all the elements.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know what's coming at you.
You're wearing
high speed.
Yes.
Terrain.
Terrain.
It's like you're going through a torrential downpour in the middle of winter through the boreal forest. It's crazy, Mitch.
Exactly. Wearing basically nothing. Those skin tight suits, they're not protecting you from anything. And we found out that it really doesn't. This gentleman was on record. It's been all over the news. This guy almost lost his penis. It
What?
got so cold, he had the frostbite on the penis. This guy, I'm sorry, Olympics. This guy's the Olympic winner. Give this guy a gold medal. Granted, he came 26th place, but give him a gold medal.
He should. He should win something.
He deserves something.
That's okay. So you know what? My first thing is this.
Yeah.
How come this is the first we've heard about it? So follow me on this.
Sure.
I've never heard of anyone freezing any part of their phalangeal, if you will.
Sure.
And I'm wondering, what did he do wrong? Like now I'm thinking,
Yeah.
does everyone else have some kind of warming device? Then he's like, listen, I got to be faster. I got to get a medal. Maybe I should kind of suit off a little bit. Like, how is he the only person?
That's a great question.
Then there's the other thing.
Sure.
Hey, let's all talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's call out the no pun intended,
Right.
elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more to freeze.
Maybe. Never thought of that either.
Maybe
Never
there's
thought-
just more to freeze, Mitch.
I wanted to bring this up because I said to myself, that is hilarious. Like, the Olympics literally, this was all over the news. This was all over social media.
the greatest thing
This
to
is
happen to the
So
Olympics.
everyone's talking about it. So I'm like, all right, the Olympics must have been that bad that they had to bring this up.
So he does it during day one. Are you watching the Olympics now?
I'm not going to lie to you. You got my attention.
I think so.
I mean, if there's events where you might lose body parts, yeah, man. I got to watch now.
I'm just thinking.
Now it's like Hunger Games or something.
Well, I'm wondering, is this happening more so? Like, you know, here's the thing. Let's get serious for a second.
Sure.
You know, you and I are serious people.
We are. We
Is
can
this
be.
something that's been kept under wraps? Is he a pioneer now?
You mean he's
where,
like...
where he's like, this has been going on, you guys, for decades, and no one's talking about it. You know how many times we cross the finish line, and we got to go right into a sauna or a bath of sorts?
The cross-country
7 out of
community-
every 10 cross-country skiers are suffering from freezer burn.
The cross-country community right now is just applauding.
Up in arms and the heroics.
Thank you, Remy. Thank you. That's hilarious. That's
I
really
have a
good.
feeling Lily is going to cut
I have
the
a feeling
whole
the
bit.
whole
The
front
whole
bit.
thing. The
from,
whole thing.
From one cold sport to another. Let's go to the NHL. Let's talk a little bit what's going on in the NHL. So a couple of weeks ago, the AllStar Game has ended. Teams are, kind of getting back in the swing of things, right? It's kind of like you're on vacation. Now you got to get back to work. And one team, our local guys, the Calgary Flames caught fire. They were on fire before the All-Star break, and they caught even more fire after. They were on a 10-game winning streak. Everybody here in Calgary is getting excited. Not just here in Calgary, but across the country are talking about our Calgary Flames, winners of 10 in a row. We're going for the record 11, blah, blah. And then they end up going to Vancouver, and they got beat 7-1. Dimitri, real quick, during the 10-game run and or right now, we made a little trade right before the trade deadline, which is March 21st. Are you drinking the juice on the Calgary Flames?
Yeah, I'm drinking the juice, man. This is a tough team to play against. Yeah, this is scary for any opponent, right? Because, that's the thing with the NHL that I love. It doesn't really matter where you see it anymore. I mean, there's some teams that are clear favorites over others. We understand that. But now you can't take it for granted if you're playing someone in the wild card or, as I said, how they seed. So the thing with the Flames is the coaching's phenomenal. They completely filled that gap. The GMs, I think, have done a great job of working with, you're not saying that they're working with Sutter, but what I'm saying is they've made some good moves, right? Re-signed good people, made some good moves, kept people in place to allow a team like this to come together. Then you get the goaltending. I mean, I think that's one of the bigger X factors too, is that the goaltending from both of them has been good. We're not just relying on Markstrom, for example, to carry people through the finish line. But as I said last week, because we touched on it, it's how they're beating teams. They're also scoring a lot in these last 10 games. Like
Maybe not the last game.
Yeah, not the last game, but 4-1, 6-2, 6-1. Like it's it's tough because they're a team that rolls 4 consistent lines. And how do you match up against that? Right. That's the tough thing. Again, you're looking at the LA Kings under Sutter back then.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I think the Calgary Flames I'm not drinking the juice yet. Why? If you listen to our podcast from before, you'll know.
Because you're negative.
I'm a negative Nancy, for sure. But I'm also that guy that's been heartbroken too many times about these guys, all right? On paper, I would actually say we might be the most complete team in the NHL. I mean, I'm thinking about, you got Toronto. They're heavy on one side, not so heavy on the other, right? I do believe that Calgary, like, you look at Tampa Bay, they're good. You look at Florida, which we'll talk about a little bit as well. They're really good. St. Louis is making the run. Like, there are a lot of teams that, because we don't see them every day, they're similar to Calgary. We're a little partial here because we got our boys. I love the way they're playing. I mean, this team was brought into, like, Sutter came in as the enforcer going, hey, we're going to play some defense, and if we end up scoring along the way, great. And it's working, and that's great. And to your point, the LA Kings of 2014 and whatever, I agree. I'm just holding off. A 10-game streak is nothing to be shy about. I just want to see that streak, not so much 10. I want to see 5 and 6 streaks again along as we head towards the playoffs. I hope they didn't, blow it all right now. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see this kind of hockey keep going. I'm okay with them losing 7-1. In fact, I'm happy they lost 7-1. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes you need a little wake-up call because let's call it what it is. In the dressing room, they were probably feeling really good. And that's good, but you need a little bit of a punch just to be like, hey, remember, you are human. Remember, you can lose to anybody. It can happen.
Ivan Drago can bleed.
Yeah, if Drago can bleed.
If Drago can bleed,
right.
anyone is susceptible.
I couldn't agree more. With that being said, I'm kind of alluding to fakers and makers. We have a small little segment that we like to make during random things, to be honest.
Yeah.
It can go right into the NBA as well. So here it is, fakers, makers in the NHL.
Cool.
What do you think of the Florida Panthers? Fakers or makers?
No, makers.
Yeah,
legitimate, real deal. Their Achilles heel is just the other team in Florida, and that's Tampa Bay. That, to me, is really who decides, the run on that side of things.
Absolutely. You know what? There's a guy on Florida right now who's actually the leading scorer as of last night, Jonathan Huberdeau. Faker or maker?
You know what? Maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked him since he got in the league. I think he was put on, it's kind of, remember when Ryan Nugent-Hopkins came in too? Like, a lot of these people are put on pedestals because they might be the top of their draft year. Mm-hmm. But that's just because they're the top of that draft year. And so sometimes it's a little bit unfair to think that they're going to be 100-point getters. But that guy's consistently been in the mix for his team for years. Yeah. Right?
I think he's always been a very talented guy, maybe just on the wrong teams. And now where he's got a team around him, look at this guy, flourish and doing well. So I agree. I think he's been always a maker, just in the wrong place at the wrong time until now. Here's a guy for you. Patrick Laine, faker or maker?
Ooh, you know what? Faker.
What?
Faker, because you can't tell me that just going from Winnipeg to Columbus alone really deteriorates how many goals you can score. It's not. I mean, they're the same type of team. Same type of talent. Yeah. I actually think he's a faker. And I think he's got an attitude problem probably more than anything.
Ooh. So lately he's been on a tear, but it seems like he only turns it on when he feels like it. I'm kind of with you. It's like, I'm hot right now. I'm going to stay hot. I'll stay hot, and I'm a good player, blah, blah, blah. I'll score goals. If I'm lazy and I don't want to, I'm not. I agree with you. I think they might be a little. I'm going to go faker as well. I think he might be a little bit of a faker. Here's one for you, Seth Jones. So here's a guy that left Columbus to go to Chicago, big money guy. Got to be honest, haven't heard a lot about this guy.
I haven't heard a lot about Chicago in general. True, you know what? True. I'm going to say faker because you were meant to go to that team and help its defense and do something. I don't hear you.
I hear you.
I mean, I don't. 3 teams, Mitch, the guy's been on now.
Agreed.
3 teams.
That's true. Here's a couple of teams. The New York Rangers. Fakers or makers?
Makers.
Yeah, they really are.
They, ever since they got the Panarin, I mean, that was big for them when you had some scoring. But they got a lot of really good, you know what? They got a lot of good pieces. And then point in case like we're talking with Huberdeau, then you get a guy like Lafreniere who comes into an organization like that. Now you can actually really build on a player, right? Without relying on someone like that to get you 100 points. He can really work his way through. I think they're going to be pretty good. Because you look, Philadelphia is probably going to get blown up here.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh in the next few years is going to probably get blown up a little bit as well. Washington, same thing, is like kind of these, those older, it's weird to call them older teams, but they really are.
Right.
So the Rangers are in a good spot.
You know what? The other thing with the Rangers, Adam Fox. This kid, young
Maker.
big time, all time. Like I was bringing him up just for the Rangers' point of view, but this guy is, I think, a major component into why this team is just doing so well. And at a young age, like think about that. This guy could be the captain of the team next year. LA Kings, fakers or makers?
Fakers.
Fakers.
Yeah, I'm looking at that roster.
I'm a maker guy. I think they're
think
makers.
so?
You know what? I called them at the beginning of the year. I thought they were going to maybe make the playoffs. It looks like they're on their way. They've got the right team, man. They got a decent team there. They're finally on their way. I'm going to say makers.
All right, I don't know.
All right, last one. It's the one we all need to know. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are they fakers or are they makers?
You know what? This year they're makers.
What?
This year they're makers.
So what classifies a maker right now for you? You think Cup run?
No, I think they're a legitimate team, and I think they would have seen. Look, some teams just have other teams' numbers, and it just sucks for that team that is on the losing side that year. For the Maple Leafs, it's Boston.
Right.
It's Boston.
It's Boston.
It's these Boston Bruins.
Where's my charger?
Ow.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? But it just that's it. That's what I mean. Like a team like them last year, I don't know, Mitch. I think they're makers. They're a legitimate team. They just psychologically have to get over just a little wave. It's like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Yeah,
they got the raft.
That's right.
They've spent enough time.
Right.
They understand what's ahead of them. But that wave just pushes it. Once they get over.
You're right. That analogy.
Wilson or no Wilson.
No, they need the Wilson.
Hey.
The raft is their goalie.
The
raft has to withstand the wave.
Just get over the wave. And that's what I mean. No, without Wilson, they'll get there.
They'll get there.
They'll get there. The Toronto Castaways, everyone.
Write that down.
Write that down.
I got that. Okay. Perfect. There we go. From there, let's go over to the hard court. It's the NBA. We'd love to talk NFL, but it's over. And,
I don't know why.
you love doing that.
It's a good jingle.
I wish we could just
Tell
walk
me it's
around.
a better jingle.
No, there is no
What's
better
a better?
jingle.
There's no
There's
better
no
jingle,
better jingle.
right?
No. So last week, the NBA had its All-Star game. And, they've been really trying to kind of spice it up a little bit in that All-Star game. And what they did was they got the game, which is actually good. They have it where they add some points at the end. And what that means is there's no time limit. They just say whoever can get to this amount first. In this case, it was like 168 points. Whoever gets the 168 first wins. LeBron shoots the winner, gets it in. They move on. Team
Shoots
LeBron
the winner.
wins. Shoots gets it, right?
And where were they playing?
In Cleveland, too. Just must kill those Cleveland people. They must kill them.
He brought him a championship. They love it.
But the big talk of the week was what happened the night before. They do their skills competition. They got the relay races. They got all that. And the three-pointer was actually quite exciting. And it's been maybe their biggest attraction over the last couple of years.
The three-point competition probably, I would say, is the best out of all sports skills competition.
I would agree with that.
That's the one. And it's funny because, everyone, we'll get to the dunks. I know we're getting to the dunks.
We're getting to the dunks.
Yeah, fine. But no, the three-point competition, I think, is the ace of aces.
Absolutely. And what Dimitri brings up is the dunks. So they have the dunk competition. And years ago, when the Michael Jordans and the Dominiques and all the other guys were in there, Vince Carter, of course, it was amazing and it was fun. And all the superstars, even if they were in the All-Star game or not, are on the sidelines and reacting to every dunk and excited. And then last week happened, and it was an absolute disaster. 4 guys who are kind of just in the NBA. I'm not going to cut. Hey, anybody that plays in the NBA, you got respect. I'm not going to say anything.
Hey, I can't even dribble.
These 4 players are in it, and they are missing dunk after missing. And don't get me wrong, the dunks are trying to perform are to get you out of your seat, but they keep missing and messing it up, and it just looks horrible. There's actually one Instagram post I noticed where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the leading scorer in the NBA, the gentleman's got to be in his 70s now, 7 feet tall, literally just got up and walked out. He was just like, I'm tired. I'm too old for this. I'm tired, guys. I got to go.
Yeah.
If that wasn't the reaction of how we all felt, like we all wanted to get out.
Mitch, that part was brutal. Talk about a terrible finish.
Horrible.
Let's start from the beginning. I love the NBA All-Star Game because for us, especially here in Canada, it's on the family. It happens just to be on the Family Day long weekend.
That's a good point.
So it's really convenient to watch, right? You're not really doing much anyway. The relay races, all that stuff, really fun. I think it's pretty cool, to tell you the truth, right? I liked how the Kumbo brothers were a unit as well. Just neat stuff, right? So That's out of the way. 3-point, no complaints. Great. But the thing with the dunk competition, you got to make the dunk, okay? And this has happened also in the NHL, in the breakaway competition too. Stop with the props. Like, I don't care if you dress up like Superman. I don't care. Look, jumping over a mascot, fine. That's fine for me because that's a height thing.
Yeah, sure.
That's like, okay. Look at the vertical to get that. I get that. But, you got to be able to make them.
Yeah.
And if you can't make a dunk, I'm sorry, you guys.
Well, this is the thing. If you can't do it after 2 tries, move on to another one or just don't do it. Like, look, I'll be honest with you. We said it on this podcast. I think what they need to do is they see that the NBA guys are just not that invested in anymore. But there's people all over this world that are doing extraordinarily athletic dunks. Bring them in.
Oh,
make a competition
great idea.
And make those 4 come in and maybe have one NBA representative if they wish to be in it and then have it. And I promise you, we will be back on the bandwagon of this dunk competition. But as of right now, when you can try 12 times and never make it, it's pretty sad. And it just kills the whole vibe. And they were onto something. And it killed it. So for me, didn't like it. The All-Star Game, though, Dimitri, absolutely loved it.
Perfect.
Awesome.
It's perfect. It's actually perfect because there's no time limit. You know what I love about the NBA All-Star Game? You can see at the beginning, they kind of, they're loose, they're having fun.
Right.
But here's what I love about just because it's the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay. They get to actually do superstar plays that are exciting to watch because of the style of the game it is. They're not really body checking. They're not hitting, right? So It's not like in NHL, they've taken out that component, or the NFL, which still NFL, I don't even know why you have a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, just why?
Cut your losses.
Stop.
Maybe do week 18. I don't know. Okay. Just it's garbage. Okay. So, but when you get to the NBA, like, man, watching Steph Curry take a near half-court shot for a 3 is unreal.
And turn around. He knew he was going to... He walked away.
And he walked away.
It's amazing. It's pretty cool,
And
man.
even the one play where you had Giannis, you had LeBron, you had Curry. I mean, the passing plays in between them. You're just like, oh. And because when you watch the All-Star Game, you're like, yes, this is why we want all stars getting together. Because you're getting all-star alley-oops, dunks, plays, just everything about it was great. I love how they do it quarter for quarter for charity.
Yes.
I love how they have no time limit. It's just up to points. And I love it is a competitive game at the end.
Yes, they make it that way. Exactly. And that
really
last
is,
quarter
Mitch.
is exactly what it's all about. Those All-Stars actually are like, okay, guys, now let's really play each other like, 5-on-5. And it's crazy.
And I don't think Giannis understands the difference between All-Star and actual game.
Yeah, he's very intense. Like, he's very intense.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
You noticed it too.
Oh,
yeah. I
whoop.
noticed it too. I'm like, does he know that like this is supposed to be kind of fun and just whatever? But yeah, good one. You know what? That just shows you the difference. Who's a real all-star and who's not.
Mitch, it's because he's Greek and because you guys like you and
he's
I.
got passion.
Yeah, well, like you go to a schoolyard in Greece in the village, they think that's the NBA.
That's true.
We have a guy named Godzilla. He's crazy. He's crazy.
Godzilla's crazy?
Godzilla's crazy, man. That
good.
guy, he'll yell at a 5-year-old.
Really?
No, I'm not kidding.
No, I
it's
believe
the
you.
craziest
I like
thing in
this
the
guy
world.
already. I like this guy.
Yeah.
Tell him to come play. All right, one last one for Faker Maker. We'll make an NBA. Zion Williams.
Faker.
Yeah, big time Faker.
What did I tell you about that guy's body?
What did I tell you about the guy?
What did I tell
Did
you
we
about?
tell- we both
did
told
you
each
tell?
other.
Was
I
I
think-
at that dinner?
Did you tell me?
We
told
it.
each other.
We knew it.
We
Sell your
told each
rookie
other.
cards.
Yeah.
Sell your rookie
Get
cards.
rid of them all. This guy,
Hey, Nick,
it's
sell it.
over. It's over,
Tell
Nick.
your brother Nick to sell his
It's
card.
over, bro. It's so over. All right, from there we go to one of our favorite segments. It's Rapid Banter. Here we go.
Okay.
179.8 million was the amount that the Super Bowl 56 was actually taking in on wagers. That's a state record. Seems low, or are they skimming the skim?
Oh, they're skimming the skim.
Carson Wentz is on the move again in 2022. Where could he be next?
You should probably go to the CFL.
It's official. Jeremy Jagger is playing in his 50s. How does he do it?
I don't know, but ask the late, great Bob Barker.
Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania. Champ versus champ in the main event. Who wins?
the reigning, defending Barack Lesnar. Yeah, we're in our 40s. Whatever. Leave us
Doesn't
alone.
matter. Whatever.
Whatever.
Our wives love
That's
us.
a you problem.
Last one. Juwan Howard, head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, got into a fight during the handshake session with the head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers. He got a 5-game suspension. Foul, not foul.
Do you want to avoid those badges?
This brings up a point. So what happened was at the end of the game, they lose. The coach from Wisconsin, he called a timeout, even though they were up by like 15 points with 20 seconds left. So Howard goes over and kind of gives him a little shrug. Didn't like that he did it. So people are now saying no more shaking of hands at the end of the game. I'm not totally against it. I've never understood in basketball why they always shake hands right after the game.
It's a time-honored tradition, Mitch, back in the amateurs.
Oh, really?
We do it after our hockey games.
Well, that's different. You are also like 40, as you say.
Excuse me. The Division 7 Winsport Jokers is not a force, or is a force to be reckoned with, on and off the ice.
I'm really sorry, roster, that you guys have to hear this. I apologize. All right, from there we go to, if I said the Rapid Banter was one of our favorite, this one is maybe our favorite.
It's a good one.
It's called Pass or Fail. Here we go. We talked about it at the very beginning, the Finnish cross-country Olympian that got a little too cold. So it begs the question, things that are okay to be cold.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go. Your ears. Is it okay if your ears get too cold?
No, that's a tough one.
That one
No,
hurts.
it's a stinger.
They
then when
do.
you get back in, then you get the hot cold.
Yes.
It's not.
I'll bet you that's what happened to the Finnish guy.
I bet he got the hot
He
cold.
got the hot cold.
Maybe he got hot. That's why he got too cold.
Here's one for you. What about when your toes get cold?
Ooh, I hate that.
Yeah, fail.
I hate it. It's any phalangeal of sorts.
Oh, yeah, I got you. How about this? Leftover pizza.
You know what? Depends on the pizza, but pass. I'm going to give a pass
I don't
to
mind
that
a little
one.
cold pizza.
Yeah.
I'm one to say that I maybe prefer it over the hot pizza.
Really?
I'm that guy.
Okay. I can respect it.
Buonasera, home of the 10 cent. I'm just telling you.
Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Maybe the best cold pizza out there.
You promised Lily Bonacera, by the way.
I know.
Actually, I promised Lily
You promised.
your
So it
Bonacera.
means you're
Whatever.
picking up the tab. Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
Ice cream. Does ice cream have to be cold?
It's got to be cold. Enough of this deep fried stuff.
Yeah, what's up with deep fried
enough
ice
with
cream?
it. Just eat ice cream the way it's supposed
Hey,
to be.
Stampede, leave things alone.
Leave it alone, man.
All right, how about this one? The cold side of your pillow.
Oh, pass.
Big pass.
Who doesn't want a cold pillow?
Love the cold
It's
pillow.
amazing because then you bring it to temperature.
Yeah. All right. I got two more. How about
sorry.
cold soup? There's some cold soup out. Galapcho or what's it called?
You know what? Fail.
Fail.
That's not soup.
That's not soup.
No,
It's
that's
like salsa.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Once it stops being at a certain temperature, it morphs into salsa.
All right.
Yeah, that's a technical term.
Here's second last one. Cold beer.
It's got to be cold.
It's got to be cold.
Listen,
beer.
enough of this.
Who wants warm beer?
Hey, beer connoisseur. Enough of this already, okay? I get, some things are meant at room temperature. Me. No. Beer is meant to be cold.
Always.
Okay?
Always.
Enough.
Enjoy. Last one. How about our houses?
I'm a Guinness drinker.
NMAX bill.
What?
NMAX bill. Cold houses. Should we leave our houses cold based on the new NMAX bills?
Pass. We should leave them cold. You see, did I tell you about it?
I heard.
Almost $600.
What?
I don't even know what happened.
I don't even know what's going on
I'm
anymore.
showering at the gym at work right now because I don't want to expense the water at home.
I don't blame
That's
you.
how bad it's gotten.
I don't
Mitch.
blame you. I don't blame you.
I got a fireplace, but I ain't using it.
There it is, everybody. It's
But I'll tell you, I could have used a fireplace. Is what's his face? The guy from Finland.
Yeah, he needs it.
He needs it.
He needs
He
it.
needs it.
Remy.
Yeah.
Good old Remy.
Good old Remy.
There it is, everybody. Sports Show 90.9.
Wow, what an episode. Oh, man, we had the most fun. Again, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at SportsShowYYC, CJSW, CJSW.com. Remember, we're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on Podbean. If you missed it and you want to tell a buddy who says, oh my God, I listened to this amazing show the other day, you got to listen to it. Where do I go? Just go to CJSW.com under the spoken word section and just find the sports show and on all our amazing channels. But hey, this is one for the books, but we got to shove it in the locker because we got to hit the showers. Have a great weekend. Poor guy.
That poor dude. I'm not lying to you.
Like, we joke about it, but let's be honest, right?
But
Like, how
you
do you
make
tell
a really
that story?
good point at the beginning.
Yeah.
Why isn't everybody? No one else talks about it.
No one's talking about it.
It's a
I think
conspiracy.
I think
There's a
we're
conspiracy
unraveling
going on here.
something big here.
Oh, boy.
No pun intended. Something Something really big is
Something
going on.
big
Something
is
big
happening
is
here.
brewing.
Then I'm mostly what they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday, I be locked in.